Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Thomas Sykes, and
Joshua Durant.
welcome back to the Everything in 30 podcast. And
So Tom?
we're episode 5. Episode 5, babies, we did it.
Yeah, we made it 5 episodes. Let's hope we make it another 5 at least.
Oh, Josh, I will make it to another 5 episodes. I don't know if you're gonna be able to wake up for the next one.
Oh yeah.
What is it?
I almost fell asleep.
Okay, funny story. Funny story about this. I'll tell it on a podcast. So,
Many funny stories about this.
last week, I want to say, last week, episode 4, I got a text from, I was upset. I just put that, my dad just put down my, my family dog, Casey. What is it? Great dog, yellow lab. We had to put him down. He was 16. Actually, was he 16? No. 15. My mistake, 15. But we had just put him down. And so, I was like, okay, I was pretty sad, but I was like, I can make it to, I was like, okay, once 3 comes, I'll get onto the podcast, I can suck it up, I can do it. I got a text from Josh at 10 going, man, Thomas, I'm really excited for the podcast. It's like, when do you want to do it? It's like, you want to do it right now? Let's do it right now. I'm like, Josh, I really don't want to do it right now. And he's like, okay. And then he's like, okay, how about we do it at 12? I'm like, Josh, how about 1? He goes, okay, I'll do 1. So we get to 1, and we get on, and Josh goes, yo, Thomas, I'm really excited for the podcast. And my power had just gone out, just as I was about to do it. And Josh is texting me to remind us, like, okay, Thomas, remember, podcast starts at 1, let's get on. And so I get on the podcast, and he's like, Thomas, I'm really excited. I go, Josh, just so you know, if I seem a little upset, my dad just put my dog down, and he just goes, oh, okay. He goes, I'm sorry for your loss. And he just had this moment where he just kind of stopped, and he's like, oh, I'm the fast one today, ain't I? That's what I felt was coming off of you right there, Josh. And then,
say that last part again. Say the last part again. I didn't hear you.
I just felt right there, you just had this relief. You were just man, I'm the fast one today.
No.
You're just why am I going fast?
Nah, I was just worried about how you were doing with your dog. Yeah.
So
you said you had that dog for a long time. Ever since you were born.
Yeah, what was it? I've had him when I was 2, so long time.
Yeah.
But anyways, I want to say this best part. So today, what is it? I text Josh about, let's say, I think it was 10-ish, 10, I want to say. I text him, I go, hey Josh, let's do I set the podcast for 3, here's the link. And I don't get a response. So, I was like, okay, maybe he's just, now I've known Josh for a long time, so I'm like, man, he's probably just asleep or something. So I get to about 1 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, let me text Josh again. So I text Josh about 3 different messages, and the thing is, just to see if he was asleep or if he was ignoring, because, I've seen people where, I can text something, I text them a link to something, and they don't respond. So, since I didn't get a response from Josh, I asked him a question. So, I was like, man, Josh, I'm really excited for the podcast. How about you? Because that way, if he responds, I'd be like, oh, okay, he's awake. Didn't get a response. After, a couple minutes, I'm like, okay, Josh is asleep. Then, 2 o'clock comes, and he goes, Thomas, I just woke up. And I'm just like, I just couldn't, I knew it.
You got lucky too, because my phone was dead, so I didn't know what time it was, and I also didn't have an alarm set. So
why don't you charge your phone at night? That's what I do. I charge my phone at night.
It's because I stay up all night and I just pass out in the middle of the night, just tired,
I could never do that. I don't pass out. You see, what is it?
I don't pass out, but I easily fall asleep. I don't pass out.
For someone that easily falls asleep, you fall asleep fairly late. What is it? So I have with my phone, I'll do is I'll watch a couple of videos before I go to bed, and thing is, I'll sit in my bed, and right before I go to bed, I make sure that I plug my phone in, because I once did that where I was so tired, I ended up just watching videos until I fell asleep. And so I woke up, my phone's like half dead, and I'm like, oh, I didn't charge my phone. And that was funny on its own. But yeah,
What do you call it? There's a lot of stories of me falling. You know what? Every single time I don't
I
respond to
just realized I
something.
didn't time this
It's not.
podcast. I just realized
Oh, you did?
I didn't start the timer for this. What is it?
I feel like we've been talking for like 5 minutes, I think.
Yeah, what is it? I'll just stop us in like another like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Then we'll end it, because I'm just like I'm like
Don't worry about
I just completely forgot. It just slipped my mind. Let me see.
Yeah.
This.
But every time I don't respond to something, or like I'm not talking or something like that, it's not even just Thomas. My whole friend group, the number one response is to be, Josh is probably asleep. All right, hold on. Let me read this text message.
It is the number one
Let me
response.
read this. Let me read this text message, because I wasn't at school yesterday because I did not feel good at all. Even though school was online, I felt so bad. I'm not even joking. But let me read this text message, all right? Let me scroll up. Alright, so this is
I'll
from
be
Tuesday.
copyright strike for this. I'll be copyright strike for doing the Jeopardy theme.
This is from Tuesday, June 9th, right? So my friend Matt texts, Josh, what website did you use for works cited pages? And then Thomas texts, Josh, are you coming to English? My friend Matt texts back. He says, he wasn't in history today. I think he ain't joining us. Thomas responds back, lol. And then Thomas says, how much you want to bet? He was going to be like, oh, I was asleep.
What?
Why? Why?
You know, that's the thing. Josh, I've seen you do it before. No joke, Josh. I've seen you come into class, like, be completely silent, and then, what is it? At the very end, everyone leaves class, and then you have to be kicked off because you're just like, oh, I fell asleep.
Yo, actually, that is so
Josh
true,
is the
because
only
there's
guy
been
that,
so
like,
many times I just fall asleep last period. I don't know what it is.
Listen, Josh, you're the only person that, like, if we sent you, like, if you join the military, someone could be yelling at you, but as long as it's like 6 in the morning, you're asleep.
Bro, last time,
and you'd be like, hold on, 5 more minutes.
yo, I feel like our English teacher knows that I fell asleep, because the first like 3 times he kicked me out of the class after everybody left, after like 10 minutes, right? But the last time he just left, and I was there till like 1 p.m. And I looked at my phone, I'm like, I'm still on Google Meet. What the heck? I was like, oh crap, I had English. I was like, you know.
My God.
But I did attend class. I always fall asleep the last minute of class, all right? So I'm there the whole period, all right?
See, I can't understand how you fall
Don't
asleep
question
like
me.
that. I'm the type of person that when it comes to sleep, I'll stay awake for let's just say, like, if I wake up at 6, I'm up until the night. Like, I can't take naps. I think, so what happens is when I take naps during the middle of the day, then I can't fall asleep, because I'll admit this. I wake up at 6, if not a little bit earlier or a little bit later. I'll wake up at that time, 6:30, between 6 and 7, and sometimes a little bit after 7 or a little bit before 6. I'll wake up, and I will be up till, 10:30, till about 10:30, 11. Then I go to sleep, because that's all I can do. And like
Really?
11's a rare occasion. Like, if I could, like, 10:30 is probably most of the time my limit, but like 11's like that just rare chance where, like, I'm just like, okay, I'm like, or like I'm watching something, or like I'm doing something on my phone that's like I have to finish. Like, then I'll be at 11, but like that's pretty much it. But when it comes to but like when I cannot take naps or during the middle of the day, or else then that like 10:30, 11 ends up becoming like I don't fall asleep till 12.
Bro, I remember like when we went to actual school, like like not online, like we actually walked into school, right? Like
Whoa,
everybody was talking about
inside.
like what, yeah, everybody was talking about how what time they fell asleep. Most people like at the max, people would say like 12 or 1, but usually the answer was like 11:30 or 11, right?
Hmm.
And I'm always the one that I'm like, I fell asleep at like 2 o'clock or 3 a.m. And they're like, you only got like 3 hours of sleep. How are you here? I'm like, I don't know. My body's just got used to me not really sleeping a lot during the night, but I
Wasn't
do
there a,
sleep during the day a lot.
wasn't there a study that was conducted that like apparently like the start times for people for like certain things are like way too early, like the whole I think it was like a high school study where it's like people like if you get to school, if you're waking up at like 5:30 to go to school, that's like too early or something like that. I remember hearing something about that, and people were like, "Man, we go to school way too early." I'm like, "Okay, then what time do you go to bed?" And they're like, "Oh, I only go to bed at like 1 o'clock in the morning." I'm like, I'm, I always was baffled by it because I'm just like, why are we making these start times later? I'm like, I could never understand it because I was always like I'm like Josh, you know me well, so like that when I like get up in the mornings, like I'm awake. Like when I'm in
Yeah,
school,
yeah, a little bit
I'm like
too
I'm
much.
ready.
But
I
I'm
am
literally
like
sitting there
I
and
am
I'm tired, and because I have like, okay, well, I'm
yeah.
just tired. I'm sitting down relaxing, and he's talking so much in the morning, so energetic. I'm like, Thomas, give me like a 5 second break. Just 5 seconds, man. Just 5 seconds, please. He has the
Yeah.
tea. He drinks tea every day, all day, so it keeps him energetic all day. And
It's the
like me,
sugar in
I'm
the
just
tea. I'll
relaxing.
tell you that. Sugar in the
It's just
tea.
sugar,
Sugar in the tea.
the quote unquote sugar, man. But what do
Quote.
you call it
Whoa.
though?
What was that quote unquote sugar?
The quote unquote sugar. It surely isn't anything else. I'm just saying.
Uh.
But what do you call it? I fell asleep like during school like a lot of times. Like the most recent one was probably during like my freshman year, right? So I had English class, right? And we always read on SSR books. I think it was SSR books. I think for like 15 minutes at the
That's
beginning of the period, every period. Every day.
yes.
So there was
SSR.
this one day that I was just so tired. I was so tired that day. I don't know why. I was just so tired, right? And for me, when I'm tired, I cannot look at a book because like the words on the page are so like I don't know, like enchanting. Like it just makes you want to fall asleep even more. It just hurts my eyes. I just want to put my head down. So, but I sit in
Enchanting.
my
It was enchanting.
it like draws you in because it makes you want to go to sleep. But at least that's for me, right? So I sit down in my chair, I open my book, and I'm looking at the page, and like I'm getting so tired that like I'm like almost nodding off because I'm so freaking tired. I'm like, no, I have to stay awake. And then at some point during that 15 minutes, I said to myself, listen, you need to take a nap because you're tired as
You need
frick.
to nap.
You just have to hide this. The problem was like I was in the front of the class, right? So basically, well, she had the desk arranged that half of the class were facing each other. Like it was, like one half of the class is on one side and the other half is on the other side, and they're both facing each other. So technically there
Oh.
was 2 front rows, and I was in one of
Mhm.
the front rows. So what I did, right? And
Okay.
there was always this one girl in front of me that was always freaking staring at me. So I know she knew I fell asleep, but what I did, right? I put the book
Mhm.
down. I put my arm I put my head in my arm. And I just put the book over my face, right? And like
Mhm.
I just close my eyes, and I wake up.
Yeah.
And when I wake up, it was done. Like all the SSY reading time was done. And I thought I got away with sleeping in class for like 10 minutes, just getting a nice little nap, right?
Okay.
But then I figured
Wait,
out I
Josh.
didn't.
Wait, Josh. Hold on one second. I gotta pause the recording. Hold on. Okay.
Okay,
Unpaused.
yeah, where did I leave off? I left off. Oh yeah, I woke up and I thought I had gotten away with it. I really did. I was like, okay, I'm energetic now. I'm not tired anymore. And I look up, and the first giveaway is that I look in front of me, And the girl that always stares at me, she's staring at me. I'm like, oh no, oh no. They know that I was asleep. And I looked to the right, and this kid I knew, alright, he was laughing. I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? So I still thought in my head, okay, maybe they noticed I was asleep because they can see me from the front, because half of the class was like, seated well. And basically, I was like, okay, but the teacher didn't notice because she would have woken me up and like yelled at me. But when I got up, I pretended like I was done with my book. She made a joke and she said, I hope you guys were reading your books and not sleeping. I was like, oh crap, she saw me. She really did. And like this was one of the rare times where the teacher let me sleep, because like there's been 2 times where this happened. There's been 2 times where this happened where the teacher just let me sleep. I was like, you know what? If you're gonna let me sleep, I'm okay with that. I'm very okay with that.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks.
I think I got thrown out of class one time though. I think one teacher sent me to the nurse's office because I fell asleep or some crap. I'm not even sure.
Honestly.
I don't fall asleep a lot though. It happens like once every 2 years or something like that. All right. So don't yell at me. Okay.
How dare you, Josh? Oh, Josh, what is it? I have a main topic I gotta talk to you about. Main story. Like I said, a main story, big story. Did you hear? What is it? The Flash. I think the guy's name is Hartley Sawyer. I think that's what his name is. Hartley Sawyer. Yeah, Hartley Sawyer.
Okay.
He's an actor. On The Flash, he played the elongated man and Ralph Dibny. I loved his portrayal of the character. Really cool.
Okay.
What is it? He has been fired from The Flash.
Really?
He
Why?
made because of tweets that he made it looks like 8 to 9 years ago. Like
it's always the tweets that get them.
What is it? Like some of them were like apparent, like he had to be in like his I think it was his either early to mid 20s, like when he made them.
It's always when every one of these actors or like celebrities, whenever they get like canceled or something, it's always their tweets. Every single time, man. It's always their tweets from like 10 years ago.
Well, here's the thing that I'm most concerned about is that hold on, is that he was fired, but what is it? Wait, hold on. What is it? How come Warner Brothers, they fired him, but I think it had to be a couple months ago when when Ezra Miller, who plays the Flash in the TV movies.
Oh yeah, that guy, yeah.
He grabbed a person by the neck, choked a woman.
I never watched that video, but I saw someone talking about it.
He choked a woman and brought her to the ground. How come Warner Brothers does not give a responsibility? He doesn't even get fired, but because this guy made tweets 8 years ago, he gets fired? It just doesn't make sense. As bad as those tweets can be, I want to say this the best way I can. He is not sure, words can hurt more than actions. Words can hurt more than actions at times. But he said, he wrote things that were extremely inappropriate that we can't share on here. But what makes that any different than Ezra Miller choking this woman? What makes that a different situation? How come?
Well, I don't think we should condone either. We shouldn't be like, yo, this is okay, but the other isn't. Imagine telling someone, okay, well, I don't even want to give my opinion on like which one is right, because number one, although I heard a thing about Ezra Miller and I heard people talking about it, I never actually watched the video on it or like knew what it was about.
What is it? I saw it. It's bad.
Hold on. With number 2, with this new thing that you're talking, the new actor, whatever his name is, I don't know what his tweets said, and I don't know how many tweets there were. And like how young he was, like,
What is it? There was a couple of tweets, but do you remember the James Gunn situation back It was back a while ago. The
No,
James Gunn
not
situation. Do
not
you know about
really.
that? Okay.
No.
The whole for people that don't know, including Josh, back Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn, great director, basically everyone likes him because he's such because of his movies. Basically, he was fired from Disney because of tweets from his past came back
Oh yeah, I feel like I did
and
hear about that one
they were
actually.
like pretty edgy tweets. I don't okay, I haven't seen his the tweets that James Gunn made, but from what I'm hearing, it sounds like those tweets are not as bad as what Hartley Sawyer made. But
So like, but tell me like, what were the
but James,
themes of what? Okay.
they were what is it? They were I think people said like they're misogynistic. He talks about like assault. He talks about assaulting, beating.
Oh,
What is it?
oh.
It basically talks about what is it? He talks about it's really bad. It's there's some I think there might have been a racist one too, but like I'm not
This
exactly
is
sure.
James Gunn.
No, this was what is it?
Oh, this is the
Hartley
Flash
Sawyer.
guy.
I don't know
Oh,
the one
oh.
I don't know what guy made, but what is that? Well, like
I
these
don't know
ones,
that.
they're really they're bad. They're
Don't
bad.
sound. Yeah, those
I
don't.
won't say anything, but they're not that good. Um,
Those don't sound like something you can apologize for. Like, I don't
well,
know about that
well,
one, Thomas.
okay, but he still made an apology. Whereas Ezra Miller, how come he gets away with that? And
Didn't he
I
like
didn't
what?
see an apology. Where's the
Didn't
apology?
he like choke slam a fan or some crap? I don't know.
Yeah,
That's what I saw online. I don't even know.
I'm just
But
I'm not.
but
I,
like if this Twitter thing, like I don't even know. It'd be different. Like maybe if he was like a meme account, like he was like making fun of stuff, like I could see that differently. But like if he was actually going on Twitter and like actually saying this stuff, like but actually saying it like he believed it, then I don't really support him being an actor anyways. So you know.
I think you could tell that they're edgy jokes. He's definitely trying to make it. He's definitely trying to joke around, but they are definitely like edgy. It's something that like that cannot be said today, but it's wrong. It's wrong what he wrote. But on a standpoint of what is it of someone like we both know he's never gonna be work. I don't what is it? I don't know if it's never gonna. But he's gonna have a hard
He,
time finding
no,
work
he might
after
work
this.
again. There was this one actor who I forgot his name. I remember I watched a whole like video, like an hour-long video about it. And this actor was basically sent to, or it was a director, one of the two. And this director was basically sent to jail for stuff that involves a minor and video content that involves a minor, right?
Yeah.
And people were saying that he was done for. But after he got out of jail, which and number one, I don't understand how he got out of jail so quickly. But after he got out of jail, he made like one of the biggest movies with one of the biggest celebrities, and it really shows that Hollywood could care less about what you did in the past or who you are in the present, as long as you can make a good movie and you can get enough money for them. Hollywood is just a bunch of like, it's just greed. They don't really have any morals. I'm not saying the people there. I'm saying like the movie industry and all that. It's not anything about morals. It's about money, greed.
Yeah.
You know.
What is it? What is it? It looks like from what we know, it looks like our time's probably up. I have no idea. I think we might have like an extra couple minutes, but who knows? This might end up being a short podcast. What is it?
Yeah,
what is
probably
it?
like 23 minutes, 25 minutes.
Doesn't really matter. But if you do want to, what is it? We will be talking about this and much more on our YouTube channel. What is it? Everything in 30. You can find us on YouTube. We'll be doing it'll be our YouTube exclusive live episode. We're gonna be doing that on Friday. Got Friday, Josh?
Yeah, Friday.
Friday. You want to see 2? Friday at 2?
Yeah.
Okay. So come join us Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. we're gonna be doing we'll be doing a live podcast. It's gonna be a YouTube exclusive, so you won't find it on any of the podcasting websites. But also, if you do unfortunately miss the live stream, you can the live stream will be uploaded to YouTube once it's done. The live stream should be an hour or longer. We're not sure. We're gonna play it by ear. But what was it? Remember, so subscribe and like us on YouTube. Share us on social media. Follow us on Twitter at everything in 30.
Yes, sir. And we'll catch you guys next time. No,
see you guys
that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So we will see you guys next time. Peace.